What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video from the Sports Scoop. Today we are doing Champions League final predictions. Just to recap, so PSG beat Leipzig in the semifinals 3-0. I wouldn't say I expected that necessarily. I think Leipzig had a chance. They beat Leipzig 3-0 as well as Bayern. Actually, they beat Lyon. I think if you're thinking about it, you would expect them to win by more goals than Barcelona, but obviously that wasn't the case. But so let's talk about this matchup. I think it's an interesting matchup. I think Bayern are obviously the heavy favorites here just because they are arguably the best team in the world. Not really, but they're obviously the best team in the world. They have the best striker in the world, Lewandowski, prolific goal scorer. I'm expecting him to score a goal here. But the thing that I want to touch on first is that Neymar he's won the Champions League with Barcelona, and I think he has that mentality to play in finals. And I don't think Lewandowski has that, major finals yet. And I think that might be a bit of a decider for this game. I think Lewandowski, he's an amazing striker, and he's been in football for so long. So, maybe if he's young, then maybe it's he won't play well. But I think Lewandowski will adjust to it, but I think he might not play as, well as people are thinking. But I want to get your guys' thoughts on the game. What do you guys think about the matchup?
I disagree with that a bit, though, because actually Lewandowski did play in Champions League final in 2012-13 with Dortmund against Bayern. So he does have that experience, and he has played in clutch situations in the semis. And I feel like, and he's, I think, 30. He turned 32, I think, yesterday. So I think with his experience, I think, yes, obviously he hasn't been in a while, not as much as Neymar. So I feel like, yes, I agree with you to some extent. It might be difficult for him, but I feel like it'll be a very quick adjustment, especially the way he's been playing.
Yeah, it's really all about confidence. But when you look at the big games Robert Lewandowski's played in his career in Europe, in the World Cup, in the Champions League, in 2012 in the Champions League final, not much he did there. In the Champions League semifinals from 2014 to 2018, yes, they made it all 4 of those years. Nothing. He's not a goal-scoring threat in those games. In the World Cup, he was absent. Last season's Champions League, he was absent. This season, it's all about confidence. And I still have confidence that Robert Lewandowski is one of the best players in the world, and he will make an impact. But when it comes to big game ability, he just hasn't shown it yet.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't argue with that. I think Lewandowski is probably the best player in the world right now. In terms of goal, the way he's able to change games and just blow out teams with his goal scoring ability, I think this year he would have been a Ballon d'Or winner, as me and Serge have talked about. I think Lewandowski will still be present. I don't think he'll be absent in this game. I think he's going up against PSG defense, which isn't terrible. Marquinhos there, and Silva, who have been in the league for a while. And I think it's really, the outside back, I think Juan Bernat kind of knows the way Bayern play. Obviously, as he used to be on Bayern, I think he can play to their weaknesses. I think the midfield of PSG matches with the midfield of Bayern decently well, and I think that attack of PSG is going to be a problem for Bayern, as well as the attack of Bayern is going to be a problem but I think Neymar, Mbappe, they're just 2 incredibly fast players, some of the best players in the world right now. I think they're going to cause problems for that Bayern defensive line. I think they're going to get one. I think this is going to be a closer game than people think, and I'm not counting PSG out of this game. I'm going to give a prediction for the game now. I'm giving this game it's going to be 1-1, and then I think Bayern are going to go into extra time. Lewandowski's going to have a late winner. That's my prediction. I think it's going to be 2-1 in extra time.
Yeah, back to your point about Lewandowski, though. So obviously, I think a common misconception about Lewandowski, I think, back to your point about that, is that people think that he's like a one-trick pony and stuff like that. He's just a great finisher, which he is, obviously one of the best in the world, but he's also a great assists. He actually is the joint leader in the Champions League for assists. So I think that could play a key factor against very underrated defense in PSG, because PSG actually also, their defense is also underrated with Marquinhos and Thiago Silva. They've conceded the fewest goals in the Champions League this year, only 5. So I think it'll be very tough for Bayern to score goals, especially Lewandowski. So his passing ability is going to be really important in this game, and also for Mueller, his passing ability. And yeah, I think watch out for Serge Gnabry. He had 2 goals last game against Lyon.
What's your prediction for the game?
Well, I think it's gonna be a very good game. I think it's gonna be very tough because I think a lot of people are counting out PSG for this game, and I was originally. But Bayern, they play a high line of defense. They play up very high, which plays, and you saw that in the Lyon game. If you watch the whole game, even though it's 3-0, I think the scoreline was definitely unfair to Lyon because, especially in the first 15-20 minutes, they were really getting in there in terms of attack. They were, Pai was getting a few chances with long balls because that high line defense played to Bayern's weaknesses, those long passes. I think with players who will gobble that up like Neymar, Mbappe, Di Maria, I think it's very scary for Bayern. But obviously, of course, Bayern's attack is also insanely. They're great at pressing, so I feel like they'll be mainly in control in PSG's half, but PSG will be very dangerous on the counter. So I think very good game, one of the best games of the whole season. It'll be 2-2. It'll go to penalties because I think it'll be a shootout, and I think Bayern win on penalties. That's my prediction.
I think, all in all, I think Bayern Munich will win the final 2-1 after extra time. I think that PSG will score early on because of Bayern's high line. I think Mbappe will get through, and then I think Bayern will level it maybe 75th minute to get to extra time. Maybe Lewandowski, maybe a Mueller goal. And then in extra time, there will be a set-piece goal that Bayern Munich will go and take it. I think that Bayern Munich are just the more well-rounded team, and they've played more often this season because Ligue 1 was canceled. PSG haven't had the hardest games. Bayern smoked down Barca, and they beat Lyon pretty comfortably. I think they're just the best team in the world, and they'll prove it. I think that the key factors in this game are Thiago Alcantara, Angel Di Maria, and Serge Gnabry. So when I think about this game, it's really a tale of the tactics, in my opinion. I like to look at it from a coaching standpoint. You look at Hansi Flick's system where he has the high line of pressure with the fullbacks, and you look at Thomas Tuchel's system where he also has a high line of pressure, but he plays the long ball more often. It plays to PSG's strengths in the sense that Mbappe could spring a counter, but Bayern's defense is very quick. And, I don't see how, other than Mbappe, they can beat them for speed. And they're going to have to revert tactics. And why I think the key factor to this game for each team is Thiago Alcantara for Bayern and Angel Di Maria for PSG is because they are not as heavily guarded as Neymar and Lewandowski, and they have way more technical ability than people think. And I think that they should make a huge impact on this game. One more thing that we should look at in Tuesday's semifinal, Neymar and Marcel Hasselberg of RB Leipzig swapped shirts. According to the UEFA rule, during this uncertain time, Neymar is forced to quarantine for 12 days. The FIFA Court of Arbitration says that he should be able to play in the final, although it wasn't allowed to happen. Bayern might, I don't think it will, but they might go to court over this, and if Neymar doesn't play, I think they're gone. I don't think anything's going to happen out of it.
You got to think of it like this. I mean, if Neymar's out of that game, I think it's a wrap for PSG. I mean, think of the worst case scenario. Say for some reason how Neymar contracts coronavirus from that guy, gives it to essentially every player that is playing that game, every coach. And I mean, yeah, I think Bayern definitely have a case going to court, but I think if he's playing, not much else to touch on there. But I wanted to talk about tactics of PSG. So I don't think Cavani is playing. I'm not sure with that, but don't
Not registered.
Yeah.
Registered.
So I think they're going to be putting Mbappe at striker there and then putting Di Maria and Neymar on the wings. And I think that is something to look at. Mbappe's not the Lewandowski type striker. He's a fast striker, a winger move there. So he's not, going to be, I guess, holding the ball up. I think he's going to be looking more of a pace player. And I think something to look at with Bayern is as they move the left back Alba into center back, he obviously has the pace of a left back that's used to tracking against wingers like Neymar, like Salah, fast wingers in soccer. So I think it's going to be interesting to watch as, you know, a couple of these teams have a little bit of out of position players, I guess you could say. I think that high line, I think Mbappe is definitely going to benefit off that if they're able to play long balls. As you said, Dylan, the tactic of PSG playing some of those longer balls into Mbappe, I think he's going to be able to get behind that defensive line of Bayern and cause some problems. Di Maria has been one of a very good assist player in World Soccer for a while. Neymar, what can you say about Neymar? One of the best players in the world for a long time. I think his foot skills is gonna cause some problems for the left back on Bayern. Alphonso Davies is a young player, but as you saw, he played very well against Messi. So I think it's a very interesting game to watch. Each team has good players matching up on either side of position-wise.
But yeah, I think I think the main thing, the main reason why I'm concerned, why I'm picking Bayern to win this game is my concern for PSG's finishing. Because even though they played in both their games against Atalanta, even though they barely won, and against RB Leipzig, they clearly dominated both those games. They had a lot of chances, but both Neymar especially, while he played so well in every other area except finishing. If PSG, they're gonna need to take their chances because they're going to get them against Bayern. Like I said, that high line of defense is really a huge weakness for them, especially because it plays to PSG's strength in terms of the long ball and their speed. So I think if PSG can take their chances, they can win.
Yeah, but that's it for our 2020 Champions League quarantine final predictions. I mean, what a Champions League this has been so far. I think, yeah, make sure to tune into this game. Subscribe if you made it this far, like, and definitely drop a comment on your predictions. Who do you think is going to win? And we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching.